Right, Ellie, so we're making some nice steady progress week by week as we keep practicing these papers. So let's see if that continues this time. Well done. 63 is absolutely fine. Full marks on that first page. That one is correct, and it can be turned 4 times and look identical. With this one, you're suggesting that if I turn that through a quarter of a turn, it looks the same, and it doesn't. It only looks the same if you turn it upside down. So that should have been 2, which is what I think you had there. And similarly, it hasn't got diagonal symmetry. So your H is wrong on both reflection and rotation. Cylinder, cone, it's not a chord or a chad, it's a tangent. Tangent touches. Chord cuts. That is a radius. Right, so you need to practice drawing a perpendicular line. Take your ruler, use the lines, one of the clear lines that goes across your ruler. When that's lined up with this line, it means the edge of the ruler is at right angles to it, perpendicular to it. Slide your ruler until it cuts C, and that is a perpendicular line. This one, in one layer of that, you've got 1, 2, 3, and one behind it, 4 cubes. So in one layer you've got 4, and you've got 3 layers if you move that into there. 3 4s are 12. This is the units question, so even if you didn't know the answer, if you knew that volume has got units centimeters cubed, then you should have put that in and you'd have got a mark. Impossible and even are correct. No rain falling in Wales during April next year. Likely? Really? Unlikely. Rain falling in Wales is likely. No rain is unlikely. So 2 there. 3 for the page. So that's a disappointing page, because there you should have been getting full marks. Minus 53 is not good enough. Minus 51 or 52 would have been. Minus 50 is really what they were looking for. Unfortunately, 52 was the biggest that's acceptable. That one's right, that one's right. This one isn't, because you put the negative there. The difference in height is just how much between them, which is 20. So you don't get that mark either. £2.40, 81 pence you do get. 7 marks there. So she has enough to send it second class. That comes to 39, right? You've missed the point here, and the point is she's not being paid £8.74 for every hour she works. She gets paid £8.74 for 35 hours work. Everything she works above that, and that's 4 hours, would be overtime. So that's not what she gets paid for the extra hours. If it was, what you've done there is correct. So I need to check the marks from here to see how I can give you some credit for what you've done. So you got 1 mark for the 39 hours. £358.34 less the £305.90, so I can give you a mark for that. You lose the method mark because you haven't worked out the 35 lots of basic pay. And then your method of dividing is correct, but your answer is wrong because you've gone wrong above. You're trying to communicate what you're doing, but obviously you've got it wrong, so you only get 1 out of the 2 communication marks. So again, what you need to be doing is working out what 35 lots of £8.74 is. That's their basic wage. Taking that away from what she was actually paid that week, and then dividing that by 4 because you know she's worked 4 hours overtime. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for that page. 9a minus a equals 8a. Have a look at my explanation on the video clip for those. Again, something that you should be able to access. That's correct. 4 for the page. 4 for that. Fractions we've done back in January, so you should have been able to do that. So have a look at the video clip for that one too. We haven't concentrated on utility bills yet, but I'm sure you would have practiced those with your teacher before the November exams. Scattergraph is good. It's going through that point, so you've got 2 marks there. Positive is fine. Y equals 21 is good. Calculate the mean. Again, we've done mean, mode and median recently. So the mean, you add up your Y values and divide by however many there are. Ratio, we've done recently. Ratio of 4 to 3. And when the longer side is 36 inches long, what's the shorter side? So what do you have to multiply by to go from 4 to 36? And the answer is 9. 4 9s are 36. So you have to multiply that by 9 as well, which gives you 27 as your answer. This is Pythagoras, which is again something you would have done in the higher tier. We will practice it before the foundation tier, but I thought maybe you would have been able to remember that. 2 marks for that page. Each side is 11, so that's good. 2, 3x take 4 is correct. 4775 is correct, and that's correct, so that's good. And with this one, 2.5 is too big, 2.3 is too small, that's too small, so it lies between those two. You're testing with that, bang on, well done, 4 marks. So a cracking last page there. So let's see what that gives you all together. 12, 17, 20, 27, 34, 38, 42, 44, 46, 46, 49, 58. Oh, frustrating. Grade D, 3 marks off a C. Couple of questions in the middle of the paper that you should have been able to get right, and if you can crack those, you will be nailing a C. So you're going to be frustrated with that, I'm sure.